off the first one because we were having problems with the audio here. Hopefully we don't have any problems with this audio this time, so it should be back up. We are back. We'll wait till we get some people on here. I'm waiting for Sinfuls to pop on here to moderate. We should be all set. Okay, we got one thumbs up already. Gerard Price says better. Okay, so it might have been the internet then. Okay, get some more people on here. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, it's been kind of an interesting. Michael's on here. Audio is much better. Good. Let's see if we can get that 25 people back on here. Rex Laughlin, a lot better. It's still showing one person on here though, and I know we got more than that on here. So we're up to, all right, we're up to 15. It's popping up now. Good. As long as the audio is a lot better. Our internet has had a problem tonight, and it's been down a good part of the day today, so I couldn't get a lot of work done today. I was supposed to do a interview with this lady online from Business Insider today, talking to me about expats and everything. So it was kind of interesting, the questions she sent me and everything. And I'm gonna try to talk again tomorrow with her. So, but this week here we've actually had a lot of comments on the videos that we've been doing, and it's kind of interesting. But if you guys want to open up anything here, any questions you guys want to do tonight, I'm hoping we can get back to 25 or more people on here. We probably will in a few minutes once people realize that we've switched, because I did tell everybody on there that we were switching. So we'll see how things go. But everything, Michael, you can hear me fine now? Everything's good? Audio is still A+? Just want to make sure we're doing good here. Let's see, we're up to 16, 5 thumbs up. Harish says, how are you? I'm doing good, Harish. How you doing? Says Harish Epic Food. Let's see, we got Sinfuls. Sound, audio good now, good. Tom says, good evening, much better sound. Good, thank you guys. But let's get this, if you guys want audio is crystal clear, Middle America, good. So anything you guys want to pick up tonight, any subject, I'm game for. We're back up to 25 now, so that's good. 7 thumbs up. But yeah, this month here is actually a busy month because of the holidays and everything. We actually have a thing coming up. I think it's the 14th. We're going to do another dinner up at Evia Mall, but this time at TGI Fridays. So Sinfuls, be aware of that. I'll give you the official date tomorrow, and I'll probably put a date out on probably one of my videos or something like that. We'll see, or I'll put it on my Facebook. But you don't have Facebook. But I'll contact all the people on that list. For you guys that live here, we do a meal once a month, and you can contact me at steven5975@yahoo.com if you'd like to go. Let's see, married to a Filipino, audio is perfect. Thumbs up. Tom's Away says, show us your Christmas tree. I don't have a Christmas tree. You know something, I've never been a big Christmas person. Even being a Christian person, I'm not big on Christmas for some reason. I never have been. Spanish 2001 says, good morning from Jacksonville via the DR. There we go. Dominican Republic, I've actually been down there. I think the place I went to was Tenaris, I think was the name of the place. And I know there was a prison near there. I do know that. But it was kind of the Dominican Republic is actually kind of nice. They have nice beaches there. And it's a little bit like the Philippines kind of. The poverty is about the same, I would say. Sinful says, as many, say, U.S. losers here in the Philippines. This loser today went swimming, walked my dog, rode my motorcycle, and had a 2-hour, 2-hand massage, 4-hand massage, then got back from nice dinner. Damn, losing is tough. There we go. That article actually got a lot of play on that, and it was quite interesting, some of the comments that we got on there. Because a lot of people can relate to that with some of the, Sinfuls know some of the people that we've had problems with here. We've had quite a lot of people pass through here that we've had a lot of issues with. It's kind of interesting. Jimbo L says, hello from Chicagoland. Are you going to have a meeting the end of January, ? We will have a meeting in January. Whether it's the end of January or not, I'm not quite sure. We just throw out a date. We pick a date, and that's the date we do. So he says AM. Spanish says, Spanish 2001 says AM in Santo Domingo. Let's see, Patrick. I used to know a lot of people from there because I come from Lawrence, Massachusetts. I lived there for a good part of my life, and it's a lot of Dominicans there in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Matter of fact, almost the whole town is Dominican. Patrick Desrenou says, good evening from Montreal. Let's see. Welcome aboard, Patrick. Happiness isn't a future event, is this guy's name. He says, hello from Iowa. Hope you're well. How difficult can it be for someone who uses CPAP to live out there? We have all kinds of... I am stuck in bigger cities. CPAP machines are pretty common here, actually. We actually have quite a few people in this group right here, right in this neighborhood, that also use CPAP. At least 2 that I know of. Arrest says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, sir. Pat Keene says, how's life, Steve? I'm doing great, Pat. Spanish 2001 says, seriously thinking of going to the Philippines. Really serious. Philippines is different than the DR. DR is nice, too. Don't get me wrong. The DR is very nice. You know, there's a lot of... It's a different vibe, though. Totally different vibe. I would say DR is actually cleaner. Okay? Pollution is probably better in the DR than in the Philippines. The girls are probably... They're a different vibe, for sure. Spanish girls are different. I mean, I was married to a Dominican before, so I mean, I know what Dominican girls are like, and you know, there's definitely a big, huge difference because the girls over here are kind of more passive in their own way, but when they come out of their shells, they're more open. Simple says, happiness isn't a future event. It's going to be out in the province area where power outages are common. You can have a generator or UPS. Yes. I mean, these UPSs now, they're expensive, but they're nice. But they might cover you for like a 2 to 4 hours or something like that. You're better off probably with a gas generator, I would say, than those UPSs. The UPSs are good for short. If you're getting a lot of brownouts and stuff like that, I would say that the other ones are probably better, the UPSs. Pee Wee Barnes says, good evening, Steve. It's thunderstorms in Iloilo. See, Samuel says, hope you're feeling better, Steve, from Leicester, England, UK. Good to see you on here, Sam. Jimbo L. I've never been out of the country. Just got passport and plane tickets booked for landing in the Philippines on January 22nd. I never had a reason or desire, but now I do. That's cool, man. Get out of your shell, you know? Try it out. Jimbo L. would love to go to one of your meetings while I'm there. Yeah, Jimbo, Steven5975 at yahoo.com if you want to talk to me, and we can talk, and I can try to put it towards the end of the month. If you give me a call and just remind me. I have a lot of people contact me all the time, otherwise I won't remember right now, and I can't write it down now because we're doing the live stream. Gerard Price says, yeah, it's really storming in the city of Iloilo. Sinful says, 50 watchers only, 16 thumbs up. Let's hit it, folks. Bill L says, hi from Bill and Yvonne, Toledo, Cebu. How you doing, Bill and Yvonne? Let's see, propane generator. Propane generator might be the way to go. Sinful's put up the email address, Steven5975 at yahoo.com, if you guys ever want to get in touch with me or anything. Married to a Filipino says, it's freezing in England. We had some snow last night. Actually, a friend of mine took some pictures up on top of Mount Washington in New Hampshire. And he showed the snow and the cold up there. He actually hiked up there. So it's kind of fascinating seeing, you know, the snow up on top of there. And it's, you know, it looked pretty rough and cold up there. I think it was like 10 below zero or something like that at the time. Simple says, married to a Filipino, I am sorry. Tom's away, need lots of generators to run all the karaoke machines. There we go. Let's see. Spanish 2001, I'm settled in Santo Domingo. I've been to Santo Domingo before, but always wanted to see what's the big deal with the PI. It's definitely a different vibe here, for sure. I mean, I like the DR. I like Belize. Spanish countries are kind of fun sometimes. Sinful says, it will dip here to about 75 tonight. Yeah, it's about the same over here. I think it goes down to about 75, 74. See, Michael L says, propane is common in the Philippines due to a lot of people there using propane stoves. A popular vendor of propane there is called Solane. I wonder if you could you'd probably have to have it transferred over to accept propane, though, if you had a generator over here, which probably wouldn't take much to do, but still. Be kind of cool having a propane generator and have it start up right away as soon as the electricity shuts off or something like that. I'm actually considering getting something like that myself, which is maybe sooner or later I probably will. I got some changes going on this year, and I'll be sharing a lot with you guys, some of that, and some of it I'm going to keep private, obviously. Jimbo L says, thank you, Steve. Let's see. Simple says, they have multi-use fuel generators. So that's what I have to look for, something like that. I don't know if they would sell those at Ace or not. You probably have to find them on Lazada or something like that. Spanish 2001 says, how is this different? Is much different? You know, it has, the Philippines is funny because they had the Spanish here before, and it still has kind of like a Spanish Asian vibe here. Like it kind of has a similar vibe. It's definitely has the third world vibe going for it, you know. I mean, but it's up and coming here more so than DR, because you have Makati. I never seen any place in DR that had didn't have really nice cities there that I saw. The cities are beautiful there, but not like here in Makati and Manila and the different sections of Manila and Alabang and places like that. DR doesn't have that, unless there's some places I didn't see. I know I didn't see a lot of DR. I was there like maybe 2 or 3 times, I think. See, Robin Murray says, good evening from Los Angeles. How you doing, Robin Murray? Good to see you on here. Sinful says, the Visayan region is certainly has a Spanish feel. There's a place up in Bataan, and it's a whole Spanish town that you pay to get into, and it's rebuilt with the Spanish homes and Spanish churches, and a lot of stuff came from Europe, and they took these buildings piece by piece over here and numbered them, and then they rebuilt it over here up in Bataan, and it's really kind of beautiful. And there's like a little area there. It looks like Venice kind of there. It's kind of has like a really cool feel up there. And I'm not talking about BGC. It's another place. It's really cool. It's up by Bataan. Let's see. Mark Richards says, I'm going to buy a solar generator as there's no noise or pollution indoors. Solar generator would be great unless it's raining. And the problem with a solar generator is that if your house gets damaged or electricity's out because of a storm, usually after a storm there's clouds in the sky for a long, long time afterwards, sometimes 2 to 3 days afterwards, and it keeps the sun from, shining on your solar panels. Granted, as long as there's light, you'll pick up some generation of electricity, but not a lot. Megadeth 999 Polaris, greetings from Davao. Speaking of Davao, I wanted to say this. We have a lot of people that have been going down to Davao lately, and we had a couple people that just went down there, and he says he likes it down there. And then I've had people come back and tell me they hated it. So I don't know. Craig Jordan says, sinful's true. The Spanish were in Visayas first. Johanna says, hi, Steve. How you doing, Johanna? Let's see. Spanish 2001. You probably be hearing from me. Okay, no problem, man. Sinful says, hi, Craig. Hey, Craig Jordan you haven't been on here for a while, I think. I think it's been a little while, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Tom's Away says, I'm in General Santos this month. That's cool. That's a nice place. Not one of my favorite places. Sinful says, Davao is a nice city, safe and clean. Yes, it is. And that's one of the things that attracts people. I just don't like, for me, I just wouldn't go to Mindanao. I just Mindanao is a turn off to me because of what has happened there and all the issues that they've had there in the past, and that can erupt in the future too. I mean, Marawi is not that far away. Time wise, it's not that far away from what happened there, and that could happen again there. That's the sad part. Let's see. Let's get some more people on here and get some more questions on here. Let's see. 65 people, 26 thumbs up. Glenda Vargas is on here. Glenda's right in the other room here. She's visiting here. He says hi. She says hi, sinfuls. Hi, Glenda. Let's see who else we got on here. And let's get some more questions on here. I was just talking about like how I'm going to do some changes this year. You guys were listening, if you guys were listening earlier, and we're talking about doing some substantial changes here. I'm not sure if I'm going to move out of the area or where I'm going to move. I'm going to definitely do some changes though. I'll probably still keep this place. Joe Cunningham, have you been to Enyana or Antal Grand Village in Tanza? I have not. I've never even heard of these places. I'll have to check these places out. I usually go to Tanza Oasis. Just wondering how it is to live there. Okay, you must be talking about some rental places there. I'll have to check those out, Joe Cunningham. I'm not a big fan of Tanza though, but it is becoming nicer over there with the malls and stuff that they got over there now. So Tanza's definitely opening up as a place to go. And actually, I should do a talk about that because I go over to Tanza quite often to the mall over there, and their mall beats SM Tracy great in a big huge way. It's a very very nice mall over there. They have a Panda Express over there. The stores are nice. Even the SM is nicer. Everything, the vegetable choices over there at the SM. The SM here is old. It's run down. The meat section stinks. But the mall here is still nice, but it's not as nice as Tanza. Johanna from Sikihor province, I love you. Okay. Mind of Christ, what do I need to do plans, passport, doctor's visit, etc. to come to the Philippines? I'm messaging a girl from Dolores. When you come here, you just get your passport stamped, basically. You come in and they're going to give you a tourist visa. I think now it's for 59.5 days. You still have to have an Onward ticket. They would call that a throwaway ticket. In case if you stay more than 60 days, it becomes a throwaway ticket because you have to go to the BI and then change get stamped to stay longer. But you can stay up to 36 months. Joe Paquette, how do you find a good lawyer? How do you find a good lawyer? Actually, if you have a question about a good lawyer, if you need one up in Manila, I have one. Okay, in Manila, unfortunately. But if you need one, Steven5975 at yahoo.com, and ask me for my lawyer's information. I'll send that to you. Mind of Christ, hello from Indiana. John living in the Philippines, joining in a few minutes late. That's okay, John, no problem. Sinful says the Mind of Christ current passport with at least 6 months before expire. Yes, make sure his health situation is good. Yeah, there's no health check or anything like that. Open mind and patience. Definitely patience. Sinful is correct in that. Joe Cunningham, how far is Tanza from your house? It's about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on traffic. Because once you start getting close to Tanza, the traffic really picks up because of that new mall now. But it's about 20 or 30 minutes. It's not too far. Stephen Grant just got here a month ago, staying in Dumaguete to start. Thanks for all your videos. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. Sinful says, on my last flight from U.S., they never asked for my Onward ticket. Not saying you shouldn't have, though. The thing is, from what I understand, Symbols, when they type in your passport, that's how they can see your Onward ticket. So that's what somebody told me. So that's why they don't ask for it. They don't really ask anybody. They never asked me for Onward tickets anytime I came here. Michael L., do not rent a throwaway ticket. No, do not. Immigration has direct access to the SABRE database. Michael is correct on that. They will find out in most cases. Nowadays, they're on top of that, I'm hearing. So people are still doing it, but it's a risk. Let's see. Sinful says, Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Excuse me. Jimbo L., you need the e-travel card. Is that correct? E-travel, I believe, is for when you're coming in. I'm not sure I don't think you need it to leave, though. I'm not sure. Sinfuls knows more about that. Sinfuls, do you need the e-travel for coming or going or for both? Because Sinful says, Jimbo L., yes, e-travel still in force. Okay. Mind of Christ, is it affordable to travel between islands from Dolores? It's affordable to travel anywhere in the Philippines. They make it fairly cheap because most people cannot afford it. They keep the prices very low, and it keeps people moving here all the time. Jimbo L., thank you, man. Sinful says, but that is easy compared to the other stuff they required. Gerard Price, always have an Onward ticket. It's mostly the airlines that request it. Yes, that's correct when they do request it, but they can check on your when they type in your passport number. Michael L. says e-travel is probably permanent, better than filling out those paper forms. Yes. Sinfuls, yes, but I only had a rent-a ticket. LOL. Sinfuls, so it did not trigger then. There have been people caught with those rent-a tickets because I've heard of a few that have, and then they make you go buy a ticket. So, but you just buy a ticket to Singapore and it's cheap. Joe Cunningham, how much is it to pay a, a live out housekeeper? Well, it depends, Joe. If you're going to have this person there all day, working an 8 hour to 10 hour shift every day, it depends whether they're working 5 days, 6 days, whether they're working 4 hours a day and they're just coming in and doing housekeeping in the morning or something like that. I mean, there's it's hard to say. I'm not sure like exactly what you're looking for. It's reasonable. It'd be less than $200 probably. You know, hell, for $100 you could have a live-in one. And you just have to feed them and take care of everything for them. Sinful says e-travel only for arriving to Philippines, not for leaving. Okay, that's what I thought. I knew it was one or the other. Michael L, e-travel is for arrival. Jimbo L, thank you, Michael. Rex Laughlin, need e-travel for coming in. Philippine citizen needs for coming and leaving. So I haven't been in and out in over 5 years now. Lolo's Law, good morning from San Diego. Got our house on the market. Could be there in Cavite permanently very soon. Thanks for your help, info, getting my SRV. No problem, man. Anytime. Sinful says, yes, but I will pay $16 for a rent-a ticket first. If needed, then I will get the real one. Yeah, they just make you go over and buy one, so it's not that big of a deal, but still it can be a pain in the butt. I know some people, they say they get away with it all the time, but I've heard of people that have gotten caught on that too, so be careful of that, Sinfuls. Gerard Price, not live in 3 to 4K. Yeah, Gerard, that depends also on how many hours and stuff like that. And also it depends on where you live. If you live in Manila, you're going to pay more. If you live where I live, it's going to be cheaper. Depends how many people are employed in town. There's a lot of variables there. It's almost too many variables to get into. Andrew Apple says, hi, Steve from Melbourne. What is the best way to find a long-term apartment, 3 months or longer? Do you know any good internet rental sites? Internet rental sites, you can actually get those things as long as you have a good phone connection. You can go at any of these like Smart or Globe or whatever, and you can get one of those internet things in there, and you buy internet if you're only going to be here for 3 months. And you can always have that when you come back here or whatever. I think they cost like 1,000 to 2,000 pesos. You put it on your wall or whatever, and you have internet, instant internet. You can actually take it with you to a hotel if you want. As far as the 3 month apartment, they're out there. You can find them. There's one over here in Brownwood. Brownwood does 3 month rentals. They're not the fanciest places. It's kind of hard to find 3 month apartments that are furnished, and they usually want like 6 month renters. But Brownwood, you can stay there for a month, and you can do monthly rentals, and they're about $200 or $300 a month, I think. Simple says, Lolo's Law, great to hear. Colby Stewart says, hello, this is Colby from General Trias. How are you? For the SRV e-travel is coming in the Philippines. Let's see, Tom's away. Buy it. A fully refundable ticket costs you nothing. Well, yeah, you can buy that, but then I think if there is a cost to that if you don't use it or something. I think there's like a small handling fee or something. Ray Haffenden says, I know quite a few expats were detained at Manila Airport and put on a plane back to point of origin, and they were married and living in the Philippines. Interesting. Ray Haffenden, good to have an Onward ticket to say Hong Kong. Good to run around the flagpole. That's why I wouldn't take a chance, Also with SRVs, we don't need that. That's the good part. The SRV holders do not need to have the Onward tickets. So that's a big plus. John, living in the Philippines, in the last 6 years I've been out of the country 3 times and have never has an exit ticket. I guess I just keep getting lucky. Maybe. Let's see. Bill Mosh. Humana Advantage Insurance covers expats worldwide. Humana is set up to reimburse you, but doesn't pay the hospital directly. So that's the problem, Bill, is that a lot of the guys here cannot afford to get hit with a bill of $10,000 or something like that, or more if they have a stroke or a heart attack or something like that and they're in the hospital for a while. it's impossible. See, unless you have a credit card and the hospital takes the credit card. A lot of hospitals around here don't take credit cards. Gerard Price says, yes, you're correct. This was for a domestic in Jensen. Let's see, Douglas Robbins says, howdy, Steve. Good evening from Nagar City. I have a solar panels and batteries that power my home and provide blackout power. Heavy clouds do reduce power generation, but the extra panels help. Yeah, there is a problem with it. I've heard that from many people over here. Mind of Christ says, is 2 weeks okay for the first visit? Still working 2 more years till retirement. It should be. 2 weeks is okay. You're better off doing a month if you can, but 2 weeks will give you like a taste of the Philippines a little bit. What I tell people is you're going to be kind of on your honeymoon. It's just a 2-week honeymoon is all it is. And most of the people that come over here, they're all excited. They love it. It's when you live here that you really get the vibe of the place. And I love, don't get me wrong, I love the Philippines, but it has its pluses and minuses. And a lot of people get caught up in it. And the first 2 weeks, it's the honeymoon period, or maybe the first 3 months or 6 months, and all of a sudden they start realizing how the problems that they have over here too. It's a third world country. It's to be expected. Do I like it better over here than the U.S.? Yes, I do, because it's cheaper. The United States, I don't think I could live there anymore. It's priced out of my, even though I get a good retirement, I don't think I'd want to live back in the States. I'd probably be at the work part-time somewhere or something. Simple is also, if you have a 13A, you would not need an Onward. Correct. Mind of Christ, thank you for doing this for us. No problem. Simple says, knock on wood, but I have not experienced any type of brownout for months. I have here. We had one, I think this past week, a small one, and then we actually had the internet down today, so that was kind of like an internet brownout. It was really super, super slow, almost not working. RLV says 4.4 million travelers so far for the PH as of November 2020. That's a lot of people. Terry Roberts, 2 weeks is a holiday. Yes, 2 weeks goes by quick, and you really don't get to pick up on the people or the habits here in 2 weeks. You'll see the friendliness and stuff like that, but you don't see the bad side because you haven't been here long enough. Sinfuls says your patience is tested long term. Yes. He is correct on that. I think all of us that have lived here long term, and I'll be here 6 years this coming March, without leaving, and I think all of us are patients, both with expats, the country, with different things that go on here, both good and bad. There's more good here than bad, but this past year, and Sinfuls knows this, I've been through some pretty traumatic experiences here this past year, both health wise and some other things too. And let me tell you something, it can wear on you sometimes, and sometimes you feel like going home or going to another country. But I'm not giving up on the Philippines. If anything, like I said at the beginning, I'm due for some changes, and I think I'm going to have some changes in my life this year. And I'm definitely going to, toss up the fruit baskets and see what happens, and just see if I can find something different or do something different. I'm not saying I'm moving out of this town. I'm not saying I'm moving to another place. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but it's going to be something totally different than what we normally do here, and it might even give the channel a different vibe. For Android 101, Northern Colorado transparency, Greeley per chance, and I don't even know if I'm going to slow down the channel or do more on the channel. I'm not sure. I haven't really decided on that yet, but there is going to be some major changes for sure. It's going to kind of be fun. For Android 101, it took me a year to fully adjust to how things here are done in China. I would not recommend an exploratory try of less than 30 days, 90 days better. Yes, I agree. I agree with that one. Android 101. Jimbo L, I am just researched critical minerals, zinc, gold, nickel, and the Philippines has 1 trillion in untapped. I think a nice investment idea. I will continue to research that. There's a lot of gold here in the Philippines. A lot of people don't know that. And you're correct. The Philippines does have some pretty critical minerals and stuff like that. But there's a lot of gold in the Philippines. Terry Roberts says, it can be very tiring. Nowhere is perfect. Yes. There's a lot going on in the Philippines, and some of it can be relationship issues can be pretty traumatic over here sometimes compared to the U.S. Just in a regular relationship, never mind a marriage. There's all kinds of things that can happen, and they do to a lot of the guys here. Sinful says, Terry Roberts, exactly. For me, here there is so much escapes. Happiness isn't a future event. I heard that there is a digital nomad visa in the works. Yes, there is. Do you know any details? I do not. I do not know much about it. I heard in January there's going to be some changes in some of the visas. Okay, and I I know some of them, but I can't talk about it because I was asked not to say much about it. But there are some visa changes coming up. Okay, and I was told, you know, don't give out the details. So I cannot give out the details. But one of the changes was not the digital nomad, but I think I did hear that that might be coming out soon, possibly in January. So we'll see in January because I think they're gonna do some changes in January or February. Mind of Christ, is it okay to take a nice province girl to other places in the Philippines with being proper with her family? I think so. Yes. In most cases, yes. For Android 101, there are documentaries, as long as you ask the family and ask her if it's okay. For Android 101, there are documentaries here on YouTube about the gold mafia here in the Philippines. It's ugly. Yeah, the gold here they're pretty tight on gold here, I'll tell you. It's hard. You cannot buy like gold here very easily, like gold coins. It's very difficult to buy stuff like that here. I notice it's hard to buy silver here, unless it's jewelry. It's hard to buy gold here unless it's jewelry. Tom's away. Lots of things untapped here, like self checkouts in the grocery stores. Mark Schaefer says, "Hey Steve, can you pan for gold in the Philippines?" I'm not sure if you can. I've actually tried it down back here just to check it to see if there was gold down back here because we have a river down back here, and I didn't even find a flake, not even a flake. And I'm pretty good at gold panning because I used to pan up in Swift River up in New Hampshire, and I used to fill up these little vials, and it's kind of fun to do. It's actually a kind of a soothing hobby, and it's kind of enjoyable. But it's hard picking out those little flakes. You have to really know what you're doing. Sean Andrews from Atlanta here. Did you get help with the VA claims? I'm still waiting for some of the claims that I had put in. But beyond that, no. They actually sent something back and says I felt the form that I sent in was old, and that was the VA. The VA gave me that, so we'll see what happens. I'm not that worried about it. Sinful says, for Android 101, I would not go to do amateur gold hunting here. Could be a tad dangerous. Yeah, I would not go into places where there's a lot of gold. You know what I mean? And be doing it. I think Sinful is right. Frank Klutz, Medicare in the Philippines yet? Somebody sent me a thing and said that there's 3 choices that you can choose that will pay for you outside the country. I think for up to a year. Some of them are like 6 months or something like that. But you have to pay up front and then send it into them. Then they reimburse you. Okay, so there is some sort of Medicare over here that does work, but they sent me that information, and I didn't want to do a video on it because it's just Medicare is so touchy, and there's so many different things that you have to worry about with that, and it's not something that's easy to cover because you always get somebody comes back to you and says, no, that's not true, this is what happens, here's the thing. It's just too much legalities and stuff like that. Jeeves, there is talk though in the U.S. government that they are going to change that so that people can live outside the country. Jeeves Winston, and they will reimburse directly. Jeeves Winston says, are there gold mining in the rivers and such? Yes, down south there is. For Android 101, Sinful's wrong guy. Lolo's log, Frank Klutz, Phil Health is available to SRV members. Yes, that is correct. Not much, but it'll get you admitted. You can also get Pacific Cross, guys, and we talk about that. You can talk to Michael Onstad, and it's ONSTAD on Messenger. Michael Onstad with a D at the end. Okay, if you guys are looking for insurance, Michael actually sells 10% of Pacific Cross's insurance, if not more now. And he's very, very good with what he does. Michael's a good guy, but Check with him because he actually talked to them and got them to change one of their policies so that it's more bent towards expats on low budgets. Okay. Mr. Big Slick 66, it's all about the cost of living for me. I would have to work into till 65 at least, and I'll be living on savings from 58 until SS kicks in. Still leaving monies put away for future. Mark Richards says, what is transportability? Transportability usually means you can transport your insurance anywhere you go. That's what it means. Like you can go to like Thailand. Pacific Cross actually has that, I believe. If you talk to Michael Onstead, I believe I'm correct in what that means. That's the way I always took it anyway. You could transfer to other states and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. Happiness isn't a future event. I think it's Medicare Advantage, but it is for visitors, not for permanent residents, from my understanding. Correct. But I mean, if you're in and out and you're going back and forth to your home, then it's if you still have a place back in the States, you could say that that's your home and you're just coming here visiting, but more long term. But I do agree. I think that they need to. You're better off having Pacific Cross than counting on Medicare because it's so cheap. It's like $1,000 on up per year. And actually, their prices just went down, so I'm not sure what it is now. Sinful says, Mark Richard, the ability to carry your insurance to where you're living and use it. See, I was correct. Mark Richard, thanks, Sinfuls. Sinful says, you're welcome. RLV says, Steve, soon the Kellex will have the Tracy Toll Plaza. That'd be nice. I hope so. I haven't heard that one, though, about a Tracy Toll Plaza, but that'd be interesting if that's true. That'd be nice. Sinful says, ROV, probably 12 to 18 months, I'm guessing. Yeah, it's probably going to be a while because I don't see any work being done on that yet. So, let's see. We're about 37 minutes. We got 86 people on board with 40 thumbs up, guys. Let's hit that thumbs up. Let's see. Jeeves Winston says, has this second war kicking off affect the Philippines? Not really. There's been no really big things going on here. I mean, we got Russians coming in here down in Dumaguete, from what I heard, and also up north there's a lot of Russians popping in here, and some of them are people that are just trying to stay away from serving in the Russian military, which is kind of interesting. I'm sure at some point we'll probably see more people from other countries because there's a lot of stuff. It seems like it's kind of going crazy in the world. Jeeves Winston says, has this, let's see, Mike D says, hey Steve, good morning, my countdown has begun, cannot wait. It's kind of exciting, Mike, when you first come over here. I can remember I was super excited for coming over here for about 5 years, just waiting and waiting and waiting. It was actually killer waiting for 5 years to come over here because I was really hyped up about coming over here. And anybody at my old job will tell you, man, that Steve was really hyped up about going to the Philippines. And they were even more surprised that I opened up a channel over here. And they all watched the channel, too. Some of them might even be watching tonight, for all I know. Michael C. in the Philippines. Thanks for your help with the SRV. I received mine in August, and it's been a blast. I wish other veterans over here will get this. I think it's the best thing going. No problem, Michael. We've helped tons and tons of people with this SRV. Let's see. We're getting the internet starting to cut out. So the internet, if it goes down, guys, the internet goes down. Just FYI, my internet's been going off and on today for some reason. If it does go down, we'll just meet on here next week. Okay, or the week after. Jeeves Winston says there were Philippine hostages released. Okay. David Hess says, hey Steve, I've had a lot of trouble connecting this morning. Now, internet over here has not been that great either all day. I've heard that from a few people over here, and it's not just Converge. I have Converge, and Converge has been down a good chunk of the day, or very, very slow. Sinful says, Jeeves Winston, yes, all Philippine hostages have been released, even the ship workers. That's good. For Android 101, portability transferred by an individual's health insurance policyholder of the credit gain for pre-existing conditions and time-bound exclusions if he or she chooses to switch from one insurer to another. Okay. FYI, not the portability. What was I going to say? Pre-existing conditions, I heard, has changed on Pacific Cross to like 30 days now, I think. I think that's what Michael said to me. I don't quote me on that. But if you guys call Michael, ask him. It used to be a year, so you had to pay for a year's worth of insurance, and it would only cover things that they knew weren't pre-existing. Like if you had whatever, if you got in an accident or something like that, or you got the flu, things like that, they would cover. Terry Roberts says lots of Russians in Bohol. There's a lot of Russians here. Period. Now, that's what I'm hearing. ROV Sinfuls. Yes, they're. Yes, you're right. They just opened Aguinaldo Toll Plaza going to Tagaytay. Sinful says ROV. Yes, I drove it last week from my house in New Valley to Aguinaldo. Was 10 minutes. LOL. Before it took an hour. That's cool. Hide in the Philippines. I have 38 days till I return and have been taking notes and find your channel a wealth of practical knowledge. Thank you. No problem, man. ROV says PLDT fiber also glitchy here in Manila. Yes. It's been a rough week with some of the internet here. Both with PLDT, Converge, and a few of the other ones too. They've all had the same issues, and I'm not sure why. Sinful says, ROV, my PLT fiber has been rock solid. It depends. Usually it is around here too, Sinfuls, but this week here it has not been. Mr. Big Slick 66 says, one last question, Steve. Is it wise to keep a U.S. address active while retiring and living overseas? Yes. Like for taxes or legal purposes. Taxes, it really doesn't matter, to be honest with you. It's just nice to have it back there for other things, for getting mail sometimes, or you're always going to need a U.S. address for some things. I get things mailed there sometimes that it's like because it takes 3 months for your mail to get here in a lot of cases. So I have it mailed there, and then my sister takes a picture of it and sends it to me over here. ROV says, Sinful's nice. I will also try it soon. Gerard Price, anyone here have Starlink, and if so, how is it different with inclement weather? There are people with Starlink. I read today that somebody posted. They actually showed the speed test on one of the Expat Facebook pages, and showed it, and it was really, really slow during inclement weather. It was really, really slow. It was almost like snail's pace. So Starlink is great for if you're worried about your internet going down, but it could be a lot slower. But during good weather, it works pretty good, I heard. For Android 101, Mr. Slick 66, do not leave home without it. As he Sinful says, Mr. Big Slick 66, I use a service called USA to Me. Sinful says it works good. Michael L says, here at home, I have dual one. When the primary ISP fails, my ASUS router will automatically fail over to secondary ISP. That's cool. Terry Roberts, what's driving a car here like hired a motorcycle, but that was crazy dangerous. Driving a car is crazy here too. You have to drive like a bat out of hell here because everybody else drives fast or crazy. I don't drive here. Just FYI, I'd rather pay somebody else to do my driving here than get killed over here. I mean, I've watched the way people drive, and I've seen some bad accidents over here. ROV says, SM Stores announced they will be selling Starlink kits. Interesting. I didn't know that. Simple says, that Terry Roberts, in my opinion, you have to be defensive and not be afraid to take or keep your place in traffic. Gerard Price, how walking is dangerous too. Yes, it is. With all the things sticking up out of the sidewalks and everything, yeah, it can be pretty dangerous. For Android 101, tip, before retiring, reduce and go paperless for as much as your life affairs you can before you go anywhere. Yes, that's true. You still have to have an address, though, in most cases. Terry Roberts, I just found no rules here. Yeah, there are pretty much no rules on the road here. And we get some people here that they're buying some of those minivans that they refurbish, and they look pretty nice, actually. They don't look bad. Tom's Away says, sidewalks? What sidewalks? Sinful says, rules? We don't need no stinking rules. Mike D says, can you hire a driver as an employee or just when you need them? Just when you need them. I have a driver. I use them just when I need them. He says, you don't need 24/7 access to transportation. Exactly. Zuri says, hi, where can you get the best power and fiber speed, reliable internet for online work? Probably, I say Converge, and Converge is pretty reliable, but all of them have problems now. But Converge is probably the most reliable one. PLDT has actually had a lot of problems. So hasn't some of the other ones. If you really want reliable internet and you don't not streaming movies and stuff like that, get one of those ones that uses cell towers. It'll probably never go out, from what I understand. Let's see. Jimbo L, do I really need another SIM card when I go to the Philippines? I thought I could just switch my phone to Wi-Fi calling. I only need WhatsApp. I mean, if you use Wi-Fi over here, you should be all set. I'm not sure if your Wi-Fi calling will work over here though. If you have a U.S. phone, I would just get another SIM card. That's just me. Craig Jordan. I mean, I use Magic app for my U.S. calls, and I switched my. If you're gonna live, it depends where you're gonna live here too, Jimbo. That's the question. Because there's a lot of variables there. If you're gonna live here, then you're definitely gonna need to have at least one SIM card here. As far as U.S., you can just use Magic app. Craig Jordan, the most dangerous place in the Philippines, the road or close to the road. Yes. Stephen Grant, it says message retracted. Spanish 2001, just get a U.S. mailbox address. There's places that will send you pictures of your mail too back home. There's many of those places, and you can have your mail sent there. But here's the problem with those. A lot of banks pick up on them, and they will not let you open an account, or they'll close your account after a while because of security issues. So I tell people to open up State Department Federal Credit Union if you guys are going to, if you want to have an account. And it is a credit union, they go by different rules. Okay? So just FYI on that, guys. And also, State Department Federal Credit Union will not open up an account for somebody in the U.S. It's only for expats. You got to pay $70 to join some sort of organization, though, and then they let you join. Simple says, yes, USA to me does all that. For Android 101, meaning if a man only has a few pieces of mail per year, the more like a friendly or relative is to agree to help you. I have my sister do it for Android 101, and she does a really good job at it, takes care of me very well on that. Sean Andrews, when I am there, I use Globe, MiFi and Wi-Fi calling on my US iPhone. And most of the people use Messenger and stuff like that today. Today, there's so much stuff out there because of the internet. Man, if you're just using Wi-Fi and you don't need a phone out there, you could probably just use your phone just for, almost just for Magic app, and you could call people on Messenger. A lot of people here, you really don't need any. You could put a SIM card in your phone, but not even put a load on there. People can still call you. Just use it once in a while. Put a small load in there, See, Simple says, I've had no issues with that service. Douglas Robinson says, I use Wi-Fi calling and PI with my T-Mobile plan. Works fine and no charge for international calls. Yeah, T-Mobile's actually pretty good. RLV says, use Smart or Globe SIM card here. Don't use Dito. Jimbo L says, thank you, Douglas. Stephen Grant, hey, Steve. I am new here, but $1,000 a month seems really tight. I don't drink. 1,500 more reasonable. Definitely. I tell people don't go below 1,500. You won't like it. 1,500 if you're single. 2,000 if you got a girlfriend. 1,500 you can make it with a girlfriend, but you probably won't be happy. A lot of guys think that you come over here and you got I'll just stay home most of the time and stuff like that. It gets boring sitting home, man. That's why I like to get out and do things, just even if it's just going to the mall or going to Pala Pala or something like that, or go up to Manila. This week here, I'm actually going to Manila on Monday. Let's see. Darren says, hi, Steve, just tuning in from Atlanta. How you doing, Darren? To get back to the $1,000 a month, don't come over here with just 1,000 a month. You won't be happy, Steve. I tell people 2 to 3,000 on the sweet spot budget is where it's at. If you know, for sweet spot. Let's see, we got 84 people on board, 53 thumbs up. I'm not sure how long we're gonna go tonight. Let's see how long we can keep this going. We'll go anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. We'll see. Okay. Keith Mahoney says Lumi is gross. Tom's away. Wi-Fi calling won't work when you're outside trying to order a Grab. Yeah, exactly. See, over here, at least for me, where I don't have a vehicle, I use Grab quite a lot, and you do need to have good data and stuff like that. I mean, sometimes when I'm up top here, where I live, I walk out to the street and I have no data because it's cloudy. So, and I'm right near the mayor's house. And let me tell you something, to try to get a Grab is hard. Then I have to kind of move around and try to get my, get it to have at least 2 to 3 bars. And usually I have 5 bars up there. But when it's raining, I don't. Let's see. So we got 88 people, 55 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Hiding in the Philippines, what do you feel has been the biggest drawback of being a YouTube personality? Wow. The biggest drawback, I don't have a problem with being a YouTube personality, to be honest with you. It's taking expats into this town that we've helped to get into this town. Some of them have not been our best and brightest. I mean, it hasn't been pretty here, and sometimes, and then we have some guys that are really great. Like I said the other night, I'd say about 30% of them have been kind of shaky. We've had problems with them. They're toxic, or mental health issues, or they're just not good people, or whatever. Or their personalities just don't jive with everyone else. Things like that. I would say that's the biggest drawback for me. I know you're asking about being a YouTube personality. That's part of my personality. Is I've helped a lot of people get in here. I don't think there's really a drawback. You get attacked and stuff like that by idiots out there. I mean, we've got some idiots out there that are attacking me now. I just don't pay attention to them. I mean, I really don't pay much attention to them. Mike D, can you have something in BGC and then when you want to relax, have something where you have some space? How realistic is that scenario with a 2 to 3K budget over the sweet spot? That's a very realistic thing. Actually, we do have some people that do stuff like that I've talked to. They have 2 places instead of 1. Actually, I know somebody right in our area. One of our guys, he has 2 places. He's in another town south, and he has one here. Best not to tell too many people about that, because they're gonna, if there's bad people in your neighborhood, they're gonna try to figure out when you're there and when you're not there, and they might rob you. So be careful of that. Terry Roberts, do they have Grab in the province? No, in most places they do not. Most of the big cities have them, and we have it here in Tracy Martires because it's the capital. RLV, soon a bridge will connect Naya, Cavite, and Bataan going to Subic, which will be very nice, by the way. I like that because I love the Bataan area. But there's a lot of traffic up there already. I can imagine what it's going to be like after this happens. Michael L. says, Lomi is basically Philippine chicken soup and is delicious. Sinfuls, Terry Roberts, no, you will not find that in the province. Generally only trikes, jeepneys, buses, if truly provincial area, not even taxis. Correct. He is right on that. Hiding in the Philippines, flip side, blessings. Yeah, I meet a lot of nice people. Hiding. I meet some really great people, actually. I've made a lot of great friends here. And you make your enemies here too. It's no different than the United States. You're gonna make friends and make enemies here. I do find here, though, I would say that more people that are coming here are broken. They bring problems with them than people back in the United States. Though the United States has its political stuff, political issues, but I find people that come here, there's a lot of them that are broken, and not everybody. I'd say it's like 30%. Some of them takes a while for you to see that problem, But that'd be my blessings as far as being a YouTube personality. I don't consider myself as famous or anything like that. I mean, I know a lot of people say hi to me in the malls or the airport. Hey, I watch your show. I love your show, stuff like that. Um, I get recognized quite a lot where I go when I'm up at Mall of Asia sometimes or in a restaurant sometimes, but not as much as some people. I mean, like there's some YouTube personalities in the Philippines that are way bigger than I am, down in Dumaguete. I think people recognize me because we've helped so many people. That's why I mean I've met hundreds and hundreds of people here, hundreds, possibly even 1,000 or more. I'm not sure. I've met a ton of people here over the years, over the almost 6 years I've been here. Stephen Grant says, Steve, I'm here just making observation. What surprised me is the cost of food, I think, is more than I thought it would be. Yes, food is definitely more expensive here. I think it's actually probably the same as it is in the U.S. I'm not sure what the U.S. prices are, so I can't really say that, for sure, but from what I'm hearing. Michael C. in the Philippines. I live in Manila. Enjoy your visit. John living in the Philippines. We are not getting much of a cola raise this year coming up. No, we are not. Jimbo L. Girlfriend, I'm just wondering what most profitable vegetables would be to grow. I have heard broccoli and cauliflower. Is that true? I'm not really sure. I don't know what I know here prices on stuff like that. Maybe I mean watermelons. I see them selling on the side of the roads, and they don't sell at all. They just kind of sit there, and I would imagine a lot of them they have to throw away after a while. Broccoli and cauliflower is pretty hard to find here, I find. Especially cauliflower. I don't see a lot of it anywhere here. You see it, but it's not common. I see asparagus occasionally at SM Tracy here, and I'm the one who buys most of it. I mix it with Kraft macaroni and cheese. It's really good. Sinful says, ROV, probably about 2028, 2029 when completed, but looking forward to that. We have property over by the bridge in Bataan. Craig George says, the Philippine Info Channel, what do you dislike most about living in Tracy Materas? What do I dislike most about living in Tracy Materas? I like Tracy Materas. I wish they had more Western foods here. I wish they had a Subway. I wish they had Texas Roadhouse and places like that. I think it would make Tracy Materas a better place because we have a lot of expats here now. That's some might say that's crazy, but that's the thing that I dislike. There are some Western foods here, but they're not really great places. We have Kenny Rogers, KFC, McDonald's, and places like that. The Pancake House. Other than that, we really don't have a lot of Western restaurants here. Keith Mahoney, I was in Batangas 2 months ago. Lumi is too thick for me. ROV says Antipolo is near BGC where you can relax. Terry Roberts, been to Tracy a lot, never seen Grab. Yeah, they have Grab here. Terry, you can actually look it up. They'll come pick you up. They picked me up right near the mayor's house here. Mark Richard, no Grab in Dumaguete either, and that's a decent-sized city. Well, remember, we're capital of Cavite. Tracy Materas is the capital of Cavite province, so that's probably why they have Grab here. Philip Massey, hi Steve. There are too many YouTubers covering Philippines content. A lot of Filipinas have their own channels. Some people say that. I think people come and go on YouTube now. I mean, if a lot of people make it and some people don't. There's been people out there that started their YouTube channel, which was funny, and they were doing really, really gangbusters and taking off, and all of a sudden, boom, they ghosted the channel, like they never showed up on there again. So it's really kind of weird. I mean, I've been kind of a diehard on here for quite a while. And I'm not a person that advertises my channel. I don't do the big thumbnails with the word, putting stuff, advertising myself, trying to, throw women on there and stuff like that. And I just don't do that because that's not what this channel is about. This channel has been about helping people come into the country and get their SRRV. We do cover a lot of stuff. We tell people how to get in here safely and stuff like that. But I mean, as far as I think everybody serves their purpose here. I'll say that, Sinful says, Mark Richard, is there a taxi there? Mark Richard says, no, Sinful. Sinful says, okay, thanks. Mark Richard says, you bet. ROV says sinful as well. That's nice. They will try to finish the bridge before President BBM term ends. Excuse me. Jimbo L. Steve, you mentioned people might rob you, but I'm sure that is in different areas and can't be worse than Chicago. No, it's not. The chances of getting robbed here are pretty slim. We don't have many. We had a couple of break-ins around here, but in the past 6 years, maybe twice I've heard of them. Sinful says, ROV, there is a lot to do. I don't see that happening. Not even started actual construction. For Android 101, Philip Massey, yep, oversaturation is exactly what has ruined paradise all over the world. Hyde in the Philippines says, message retracted. There you go, have a nice day is on here. And he says, it's funny how inconsistent the information is about living in the Philippines. I found Western food in the Philippines is more expensive than the U.S. Yes, that's true. I agree with that. You pay through the nose for Western food over here. Even for asparagus, it's expensive because you don't see it that often here. Michael L. In Middle America, food costs is about $200 US a week. Now, for me, it's about, for food for the house anyway, I'll say it's about $200 to $300 a month. Okay. Hiding in the Philippines, I see you wear glasses. Do you get them there? Basic costs. I need new bifocals. These are trifocals. I think I paid about $200 for them, somewhere around there. Okay, and they have different. This is like a no-name brand. Tom's Away says coconuts are cheaper. As you can see, it's got the orange, so it was on sale. Coconuts are cheaper here, only 36 cents each. Our Will, new incoming expat on April 24th. What is the best banking and money transfer process? I would, as soon as you get over here, I would open up a State Department Federal Credit Union account. That would be the first thing I would do. I send money to myself from my bank in the U.S. to my bank over here. That's one way you can do it, and you can also use your ATM card. That's the best way to do it. Some people do the bank transfers, stuff like that. You can do that. Simple says, hide in the Philippines. If you're willing to go to the markets in Manila, you can get cheap. My wife got 2 pair of glasses for $60. I think he's talking about bifocals though, Sinfuls, and I got trifocals, so I paid more. Let's see. And they do have sales on occasion. You can get them cheaper. Terry Roberts says, I'm from Australia. Taxes in Australia is huge. Prices here about the same, if not cheaper. Hiding in the Philippines. Thank you, Sinfuls. Sinfuls, you're welcome. Jimbo L says, I have to go now, Steve. Thank you for all your information and help. My girlfriend is leaving from Saudi Arabia on her way to Dubai, the Manila. The only reason is to meet me, so I need to meet her. Crazy. Jimbo L, it's crazy, but it's real. Mike D says, my son wants to come because of the budget. I made sure to tell him not to be perfect, but probably much better than here than New York. Mr. Big Slick 66 says, I know one thing for sure, Steve. If you shop the local markets, you can cook or have a cook, and you'll save a lot more money on food. My girlfriend cooks. She's starting to cook a lot for me over here, and actually, she cooked me the Kraft macaroni with asparagus the other day, and she put 2 bunches of asparagus in with the Kraft macaroni and cheese, and it was delicious. Let me tell you something. That food was good. I love asparagus. Let's see. Lynn says, "Good evening. How you doing, Lynn?" Mike D says, "You said Filipinos have their own issues. What do you think some of the differences are as a general idea? I know every person is different, of course. Filipinos are really no different than U.S. girls. Like I've said before, they have different issues here. They have cultural issues. They have the money thing where the family wants money, and some of the girls don't. They're changing that. Some of the girls are telling guys now that, I don't need any money from you for my family. So let's get that straight now. Some of the girls are very adamant about you knowing that in the get-go because they've dated other expats or were married to one, or maybe they're hearing it from other people that expats are very adamant about, not having to take care of the whole family. And some expats will take care of the family. Lynn says, hi, Steve. Yeah, I will check on my Facebook. Thanks. Johanna says, good night, Mr. Steve. Let's see. Philip Massey, I would welcome not eating too much cheese. And I think with the lack of OD availability of cheese in the PH, this would help. I believe that cheese is so, and it just cuts out there. RLV says private companies here, especially SMC and infrastructure, are pushing hard to build bridges that will link Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It'd be cool if they get all this stuff done because the Philippines is definitely changing for the better, and I've seen huge infrastructure changes over in the past 6 years. Michael says, "Have you considered contacts?" No, Michael, I got the heebie-jeebies about my eyes. Anything touching my eye, so no. Donald Healy says, "I have Metro Bank and love World Remit for transfer. Best one I found. Yeah, you can use those too. Everybody has their choices. There's no. I use Western Union a lot to transfer between one bank and another bank, and it's only like a couple bucks. And some people here, they don't even want to spend a couple bucks. But I mean, when you're talking about thousands of dollars, why not? You know, your money moves safely. Let's see. ROV Simple says ROV would be amazing to drive from Luzon to Mindanao. That would be cool. Let's see. Happiness isn't a future event. I have trouble understanding the disparity between people who indicate they live on 1,000 and those who say it can't be done for less than 2K. Is this a combination of home choice and food choice? I would say this. A lot of guys that come over here are just poor. They have to live on the 1,000. It's not by choice. That's all they get. And a lot of people have more than that. And the ones on 1,000 have to learn to live cheap on cheaper foods, cheaper everything. And a lot of these guys, 2K will get you your health insurance. You can travel a little bit. You can do things more. 1K, you're not going to be traveling much. You're going to be sticking at home all the time. Excuse me, guys. For Android 101, there was a huge number of younger millennial-aged vloggers uncovering every tiny fishing village where magical secrets only the returning Vietnam vets knew about. Now everyone knows everything. I don't think that's true. There's a lot. This 7,600, 200 islands or whatever it is here in the Philippines. I don't think there's a lot of islands out there that are undiscovered, even right off of Luzon. And I know a few myself because I've been to those places. I know what they're like. There's a lot of little secret places that people just, when you talk to people, they're like, "What? I never knew that." In Manila Bay? Really? Yeah, there's a lot of little secrets out there that people don't know. And I thought people knew about half this stuff when I talked to some people, especially the cement battleship that's out there. It's a cement battleship. It's Fort Drum. That's like something that a lot of people don't know about out there. It's right in Manila Bay. ROV says, Sinfuls, yes, my lifelong dream. Rex Laughlin, I send money from MoneyGram directly to my wife's bank account in the Philippines for less than $3. There you go. It's cheap. Some people will complain about $3 though. Unbelievable. But Android 101, just watch Rabuti or Maya or the P for that kind of information. There you go. Have a nice day. So these people wanting to move there on $1,000 have no idea how bad their life will be. Number one, insurance. No insurance, correct. No AC, correct. Bed will be 4-inch foam. Number 3, local only food. 4, no Western coffee. Number 5, no government help. Correct. That's about it. $1,000 is very, very tough to live on over here. And I'm sure Sinfuls would and Mike would agree on that too. Sinful says, where I live, I have a nice delicatessen that has great selection of cheese and meats. Sinfuls lives more in a more beautiful, wealthier section, and it's beautiful over there. And you could live over there on $3,000 a month and still live very well over in that wealthy section. There's places over there that rent for like about $400 or $500 over there where Sinfuls is at, and they're nice gated communities. Your electric bill is going to be maybe $100 if you keep it. Don't have your AC running 24/7, and when you go out you shut it off and stuff. I switched to a 2 horsepower AC unit from my 1 horsepower. My electric dropped by about 20%, almost 20%, 15 to 20%. Craig Jordan, the Philippine Info Channel. How practical are MiFi devices for use in the Philippines? I'm not sure what MiFi is. I haven't heard about these things. Wi-Fi devices I've heard about. MiFi, I think you're talking about the portable Wi-Fi things. We have people over here that use those. if that's what you're talking about, Craig. I'm not sure. I'm not up on the new tech that's coming out. I've not heard that term MiFi, so that's something new to me. Tom's Wave. I've gotten by for 2 years using ATM cards only. Fees refunded. My fees get refunded from my bank too. All of them. Chocolate Man Mike. Uncle Steve, how are you? This is not of Philippines, especially in the province. Well, young ladies seem to worship. Um, we believe that's an illness. Mike, your thing, because your name is so long, it cuts off. It cuts your comment in half on my thing, so I can read some of it, but like it go up to province and it cuts off the E, and after worship, and then it goes to believe. So just FYI, because it's your long Chocolate Man Mike Philippines experience, it cuts you off a lot, so I can't read the whole thing there. Sinful says Tom's away. That's what I do. USA and Charles Schwab. Mark Richard. Stay in touch with me though, my Chocolate Man Mike. See, Tom's away. That's what I do. USA Charles Schwab. Mark Richard. Do you have to order Kraft Mac? Actually, I ordered on Lazada, and I get the microwave version. It's really, really good. Just throw a little bit of butter in with it too, and it really makes it go over the top. Online, or do they sell it in your stores? No, they do not sell Kraft macaroni in the stores where I'm at, or anywhere around here that I've seen. S&R might have it. That's about it. It might have it at all day. I'm not sure. Do they sell it in the stores, or there's a YouTuber in Davao that ordered online because he couldn't find it in Davao? You can get it. You can get it on Lazada. Get the microwave stuff. It's great. It's fantastic. Philip Massey, what's the most important infrastructure change that is still lacking in the PH? I would say Wi-Fi. I would say Wi-Fi and the electrical. They still have issues with Wi-Fi and electrical, and the power lines here are horrendous. They're awful. You know, Wi-Fi still needs updating. Jeeves Winston, how's the fishing? What are hobbies expats do there? A lot of expats. I listen to music. I watch movies. Guys across the street, they grow vegetables. Actually, two of the guys over there grow vegetables. Most of the time, people travel around and talk and just have fun, go places, do things, get out. Not too many people do fishing though. Pool league. Not too many pool tables around here. They have them around, but they're not too common actually. Let's see. Chocolate Man Mike says, if you can't love yourself, how can you love someone else? This is a serious problem to less fortunate with this. I can't read the rest, Mike. It cuts it off again. It says this, M-I. Sean Andrews, why not have money deposited directly into State Department Federal Credit Union? You can. Sure you can. That's what it's there for. You just take it out with your ATM card. And I'm sure, I think Federal Credit Union reimburses also. Jimbo L says, will State Department Federal Credit Union account? That's all it says. I don't know what that means. What you're trying to get at. Sinful says, Jeeves Winston, careful playing billiards and betting. LOL. National pastime, even young kids will smoke you. Jimbo L, sorry, I use speech typing. Will State Department Federal Credit Union account send your social security, and do I need to keep a U.S. address? No, you do not need to keep a U.S. address. That's for expats only. State Department Federal Credit Union is for expats only. FYI. You actually have to live outside the U.S. to have that, and they won't accept you with a U.S. address. It has to be outside the U.S. address. And that's a great plus for expats, trust me. Look it up online. State Department Federal Credit Union. Jeeves Winston, haha. Mike D, any private pools? There's a lot of people that have private pools over in Tagaytay. There's also small resorts that have pools and stuff like that. And there's also some hotels will let you in there too. You can use their pools. Michael C in the Philippines, I get more than 1K. It just depends on your lifestyle. I came to retire, not party. I just drink or smoke, and you have vices that will be a problem here in the budget. Spanish 2001. It's hard to leave the DR as I have no rent here. Just pay what I consume. Sinful's MiFi is your personal Wi-Fi hotspot. So like smart and okay. Okay, so it's like one of those little things you carry around. And yeah, those are the things that they sell here. I think Sinfuls that you're talking about. Jeeves Winston, you want to live on 1,000 a month? Come to Vermont, welfare state. We have your health care, EBT for food, housing, hotel rooms, methadone, RTC, free rides. And not my favorite. I like Vermont, but I wouldn't go up there for that. And why would I want to go on the government subsidies? But I suppose some guys, they come over here to live cheap. But that's what I try to tell people, that there are states out there that you can move to that are actually better states than some states. Jimbo L, just to say, my girlfriend found a 3-bedroom house for rent in Tacloban, $260 a month, US. So there are many options out there. Definitely. I pay $80 for a 1-bedroom. I'm actually gonna do another house video this week, guys. If you, I'm gonna show. I've done some pretty decent changes here. My voice is getting lost here. I've done some changes here, and we're gonna show those changes this week. Hiding in the Philippines. Okay, just curious. What is your can't live without clothing? Shorts. You got to have shorts. Levi's, I think it is, put out some shorts that you can turn inside out, and they have the pockets on the inside, and they're also the ones with all the pockets. They're actually kind of nice, but they're expensive. Let me get a drink here. Michael L says MiFi is a marketing term. It just means a cellular modem that gives port. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, so it's just like a hotspot, one of those hotspot devices. I call them hotspot devices. Tom's away, earthquake here in General Santos now. Hopefully it's not a bad one. Sinfuls, Tom's away, wow. Chocolate Man Mike, I was just saying that the biggest downfall of Philippines is worshiping white skin. Love yourself and all. Yeah, there are a lot of the people here that even the soaps, man, they turn you all white, you know. And it wasn't like that back in the 80s when I was here. The girls were browner. Lynn says, Michael L., thanks for the info about MiFi. Anders Stridefeld, hello from snowy Malmo. It's actually where my family's from, is Malmo. Soon in the Philippines. For Android 101, I'm likely the poorest man here. I am very experienced in Asia with active hobby and no requirement for Western food. Can speak Chinese. I can live on $350 a month and happy. Depends on who you are. Let's see, Chocolate Man Mike says, worshipping any skin color is sick. I agree. Giovanni Cipriani says, I've heard that there's a bank that expats have in the Philippines that we can use. Expats can use most of the banks here. There you go. Have a nice day. Traveling all day in the U.S. from AC house to AC house, AC car to AC business. You never get hot. There, it can be hot the time you walk out the door until the time you get home. Dehydrated, miserable. Michael S. says the electrical grid in the Philippines have no failover to secondary for maintenance. When an electric company in the Philippines does maintenance, they have to shut down power to the entire city. That's correct in some cases, yes. ROV, many private pools in Laguna near the hot springs. There you go. Have a nice day. Says the comment was for people that say I'm in Florida. That's not the same as the Philippines. Philip Massey, I will use MiFi if they rent at the airport. What's the issue with the internet? Do you face frequent outages or just slow down? They have slowdowns and they also have outages too. Mostly it's the slowdowns. Maybe Starlink is the answer. Starlink has problems too here, Philip. I just saw it today on one of the expat sites. They said Starlink is really slow because of the clouds here. Almost not unusable, but they said it's really dog slow, you know. Lynn says, okay, there you go. Sinfuls, there you go. Have a nice day. Haha, true. But for me, I don't mind the weather here. I prefer it. Too cold weather. For Android 101, 1,000 a month in Asia ain't living like a king. No, it's not. But you'll have lots of local friends. If you wanted American friends, why come to Asia? Oh, yeah, woman. Craig Jordan says, there you go. Have a nice day. Heat index is 100 degrees before 9 a.m. here in the Visayas during the summer. It's hot. People don't realize how hot it is here. I actually just bought another neck air conditioner with a bigger battery, and it lasts about an hour and a half, and it's got 3 cooling things for here, and in the back of the neck. And it's on sale for $2,000 from $5,000, and I love that thing, man. And Simple says, okay, thanks, Tom. I got an alert estimate 6.1 north of Davao. That's a pretty big earthquake. Chocolate Man says, Uncle Steve, I try to explain to guys, you meet worship white skin. It's because mental disease. It's again, Mike, you're cutting out on the end of your comment on my iPad. I'm not sure if it's like that with everyone else, but it is on the iPad here. R2RC, you need money to live here in the Philippines. It's hot here also. Philip Massey says, do you need a car in the Philippines? No. I haven't had a car in 6 years. And I get around fine using Grab and tricycles and jeepneys. Chocolate, what's your opinion? I see this mine lower class mostly. I don't know, Mike, with color over here, I don't see it much of an issue where I am because there's not, we don't have too many issues with color. I think back in the States it's more prevalent. We don't see that issue over here a lot. For Android 101, maybe in some places, but not in my area. For Android 101, it's the humidity that gets you if you come from dry climate. Sinful says, Philip Massey, that would depend on where you live and your personal needs. For me, I could not live without my own transportation. Michael C. in the Philippines. It's been crazy hot here in Manila this week. It's actually been kind of hot here, but the humidity hasn't been that bad at all. Actually, right here, right now, today, that it was actually kind of cool. Let's see. Michael L. says, for Android 101, Cambodia has a lower cost of living than the Philippines. Lynn says, Philip Massey, I prefer yes. If you can, renting is okay. Jeeves Winston, how long did it take you to acclimate to the heat? Can you acclimate? Yes, you can. Yes. I'm acclimated. It took me probably about 3 years to acclimate, but I did acclimate. Here you go. Have a nice day. I mean, some days over here I feel kind of cool. There you go. Have a nice day. Craig Jordan, you're correct. I've had my days of no AC for 10 hours here. It's really hard on your body. Takes a while for the body to adjust to the extreme heat and dehydration. Mike D, my son wants to know, I know we can't bring the guns, but are there shooting ranges? Yes, there's actually one right down near Walmart, near where I live. You can actually rent guns in there and shoot. Where expats can rent guns, yes, you can. Philip Massey, should I try to drive a scooter? Rode a motorcycle many years ago. You can ride a scooter here. Some people do. I don't feel safe on them. For Android 101, Michael L, I know, bro. That's where I am when not in Colorado taking care of the old people. So we're up to about 83 minutes. We're going to go off in about 5 minutes, guys. We're at 95 people, 71 thumbs up. I'll read some more here, and then we're going to finish up tonight, guys, because I'm kind of tired, and my voice is starting to wane here. Lynn says, Michael L, I heard Cambodia has clean water problem. I've heard that also. Sinful says, it's cool here at my house. The cities are giant heat sinks. All the concrete radiating off at night. Michael says, I just felt earthquake aftershocks in Cebu. For Android 101, there's a ton of fungal skin diseases here, people. I'd like to comment on that. There's a lot of, if you're out and you sweat a lot, you're going to get all kinds of fungal issues. You're also going to need antibiotics for cuts. There's a lot of skin infections over here, things like that. So you've got to be careful over here. Simple says, Philip Massey, if you rode a motorcycle, I would lean towards that. I have a motorcycle as I rode bikes for most of my life. Brian Hersel says, I'm moving there next year, retired at 40, starting in Cebu and traveling from there to find my place. Thinking Iloilo maybe. Do you have to be 50 for the SRV military visa? Unfortunately, yes, you have to be 50, Brian. Okay, but you can do 36 months in here on a tourist visa. You just got to pay the fees, then leave after 36 months and come back in again. Just go away for a week or something. But tell them you're going to a different island this time or something, when you come back or whatever, and then go to a different island. When you come back, move around more. You're a tourist. Jimbo L, I can't swim. I don't eat seafood. Philippines, perfect place for me. Right, I'm going for the lower, slower way of life. RLV says unusual November, December hot weather here in Metro Manila. Should be cool by now, maybe due to climate change. Rex Laughlin, our house is the province in the mountains. Car is a must for us. Simple says, thanks for all the good chat. We're gonna close this down. Let me read a couple more. Terry Roberts says, it's hotter in Tracy than Manila, but I'm always there in the hottest part of the day. Terry, I disagree with you on that. It's hotter here in Tracy than Manila. No, not by any means. I live on the outskirts of Tracy, and let me tell you something. It's cool over here, and it's not hot where I'm at. We get nice cool breezes blowing through here all day. Lynn says maybe downtown it's hot down there, but when you leave downtown, it's cooler. Happiness isn't a future event. Thanks for the information. Does your body get used to the heat and humidity? Maybe keeping the aircon at higher temperature would help. I'd agree with you, Philip. I used to be on 23, and I think my thing's set on like 20. Right now it's on 25, but it's usually on 27. Michael, thank you for the good chat. We're gonna say good night, guys. I'm sorry I didn't get to answer all of you guys, but anyway, have a good night, guys, and we will be on here probably next week. If we're not on here next week, as you guys know, we'll be on the week after, and I'm not sure if we're gonna be on here next Saturday or not. So I want to say that out front, but you can try on here. There's like a 50-50 chance I'll be on here next week, okay? And because I have some things going on this coming week, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to finish everything up. And there's going to be an article on Business Insider magazine coming up pretty soon, and it's about expats and stuff like that. And you know, I actually added some comments on there and stuff like that, so you can keep an eye out for that. I'm not sure when it's going to be out or anything like that. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. And I hope you enjoyed tonight's live stream. God bless, guys. And thanks to Michael and to Sinfuls. God bless, guys. Take care.